Russia. Really bad place for human rights, I've been told. The mainstream media was horrified, showing how protesters were arrested because they were protesting against the war in Ukraine. And around 300 to 400 people landed in prison. Meanwhile, we have the United Kingdom, a place where the rest of the world should get morality from. A place that is progressive, forward-thinking, leading the world into a bright new era. Do you know how many people were arrested for free speech last year alone? Probably more than I'm going to tell you, because what I'm going to tell you is just a subsection. The people who were online internet trolls. Apparently police was arresting 9 people a day. That's over 3,000 people. I want you to understand, this is probably the most dangerous thing in your house. Alright? Like, this traumatizes and scares the British public. You can use it to do great harm. You do the clickety-clack on the keyboard, the government considers that it can waste resources in order to send police officers at your door. And they arrest you. Serious shit. If I was in the UK, I wish I wouldn't know how to read, because then you can't use the keyboard. You know, maybe don't even learn English, because if you learn English, you can use the keyboard. The temptation is there. And you don't know what exactly is problematic or not, because as we're going to look, the lawmakers are saying that people who do legal stuff should get in trouble. Yes, apparently, according to a new legislation, which by the way is also endorsed by the Conservative government in the UK, the Tories. Where are my glasses? Found my glasses. Online misogyny should be outlawed. All right, online safety bill. So no more freedom. Safety, like when you go to prison, right? In prison, you're safe. You got maximum security. Like, the more security you have in prison, the more safe you are. Like, if you go to a medium security prison, you're in more danger than in a high security prison. High security prison, you get your little room, you get free healthcare, you get free food, you get free clothing, you get a roof over the top of your head, very sturdy in case of an earthquake. You get maximum safety, right? So this is the best way to run a country as well, because who doesn't want safety? I want a little danger, to be honest. I would rather be the prison guard, or maybe the warden, but still, you know, each with their own decision. Like, the prison guard doesn't get free food, and free shelter, and free this, and free that. That's who I want to be, but apparently other people, they want to be the prisoners. They want to be safe. Okay. So we got to see the bill, which is pushing for online safety. But look at this. If you search for the word legal, you get to see that online misogynistic abuse, that while legal, right? So it's legal, harms women and girls. So very vague, right? Like, if I do emoji spam, if I spam emojis at the woman who's upset, right? Like, maybe some TikToker goes to the gym and shows that a man is harassing her. And I'm thinking, okay, well, she's a TikToker. She's a clout chaser. Like, that's how she makes money. And I spam laugh emojis at her. Is that online misogyny? Well, we don't know. Because the law does not explain what it is. I guess it's whatever upsets a lady. Because this is what actually is in the article, right? Like, if it's made deliberately to feel her uncomfortable, right? So, like, again, in the situation that I gave, is perfectly in fine with the law. A TikTok lady, right, cloud chases, makes a video where, like, someone looks at her, can even fake it, and it's not enough to convince me personally that this is an issue. So I spam laugh emojis. It makes her feel uncomfortable. Now, how can you prove that it makes her feel uncomfortable? Well, she claims. Because you can't, like, actually objectively prove discomfort, right? So the definition is incredibly vague. Obviously, it's going to be abused. I can even explain to you why it's going to be abused. Have you never played League of Legends or Dota, or had a conversation on Twitter with a person you don't like, and you notice that they have said something that violates the terms of service? Now, it doesn't really upset you in any way. In fact, it makes you happy that now you can report them and get their account banned. So, like, you go on Twitter and someone, you know, like, you're disagreeing with something and you have an argument, and maybe they use a word that they're not supposed to use, or maybe they say something. You're not offended. You're actually laughing your ass off, because it's like, okay, well, now I can get him in trouble. And this is pretty much how this law is going to probably go. Now, this is not really about protecting women. If you actually read it, it's more to gain more control over the social media. So the government is saying that if social media don't add even more safety than they already have, which by the way, I don't know like how much more safety can they add than there already exists on social media, then they will have a massive fine against them. And by the way, I looked at the fine, it's absolutely crippling. So this does two things. Number one, it keeps social media in line. Basically what it says is that if the government asks them something, like we've seen in the past, like, hey, can you protect Pfizer's interest a little bit? Like, can you start banning joke accounts and parody accounts and sarcastic accounts? Like, can you do that? Right? If social media says no, the government can go, all right, well, let's see if you really are keeping women safe. Is there a single woman that was upset on your platform? The second thing, which is very interesting, is that meanwhile, upstarting social medias, so platforms like Bitchute or any other platform that doesn't want to censor and just says, hey, you know what, have at it, I don't care, just do whatever. Those platforms can't exist because they're going to be fined by the British government. If you want to troll the British government right now, I would say if the law passes, we would ban ladies from the platform. As a joke, of course, they wouldn't be able to do it. It's not legal. But I'm really curious, like, what the response is. Like, if you consider that the internet is actually harmful, like legitimately harmful for a category of people, then the solution is to prevent them from going there, right? Like, for example, a construction site is harmful for civilians because they don't know what's going on. So the solution is to ban the civilians from the construction site. It's not to make the construction site more safe for civilians, right? That is how I would view it, if something legitimately is dangerous. The internet, however, is not dangerous. And as such, it should not have these ridiculous rules. And furthermore, look at the misandry, the attack against men. I mean, anyone who just logs into a game of League of Legends is going to find the attack, but like, look at Elon Musk. Just look at what he is receiving. What Donald Trump was receiving, what Jordan Peterson is receiving. Like, all these famous public people are getting a lot of backlash, right? And apparently, that's why they're not going to pass the law to allow discrimination against men. Because then all the people that are discriminating are going to get into a trouble. What's also curious, it's like, what if a woman is being harmful towards another woman? Why do we never hear about such cases? Do they not exist? Because I see them on Twitter unfolding before me. I mean, that Star Wars girl, she's receiving abuse on a weekly basis by other women. Yet nothing is getting done, right? So, again, this is not about keeping women safe. This is just about power and control. The government wants more power and control over social media. That's it. And it's also to, I guess, like, scare people, right? Because what you're doing is if you become problematic, like, let's say you're a problematic journalist or a politician or a lawyer, or, like someone of renown, they can just go to your social media history and see, oh, you spammed laugh emojis at this lady. Need to send the cops. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.